Hello, everyone. Stephanie Haney here with a special report for you coming from Free News with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II today. And so to talk to us all about everything we're wondering and the reactions of people to this sad day in Britain, we have with us Rachel Bowie, who is the co-host of the Royally Obsessed podcast, also the author of a book titled Royal Trivia. Rachel, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Stephanie, for having me.
Now, on this really momentous occasion in the saddest of ways, in a lot of ways for Britain, talk to us a little bit about, we know there has been some conversation about the Queen's health. Is this something that people were expecting today?
So to be honest, this came as a total shock to me. I think since October, we've had sort of false alarms, but notes about her health declining, but it's always been exactly that, a false alarm. And so I think to wake up and have this be as severe and take, basically happen so rapidly has felt like a roller coaster for all of us.
Sure. And, you cover them professionally in the Royally Obsessed podcast. Obviously, you're very invested in the royals. How are you feeling today?
Honestly, I was a little taken aback by my reaction. I obviously, she was 96 years old. This was expected, but I was absolutely gutted, as is our audience with Royally Obsessed. We've been hearing from them all day, just looking for that community to share their grief. I've been so emotional all day.
And we know the family, we've seen they were rushing to the bedside. Unfortunately, I don't think all of the family was able to make it there, but what happens now with the family as they start this period of mourning for the loss of Queen Elizabeth II?
I think what we can expect is that there will be a state funeral for the Queen, and that usually takes place 10 days after her passing. A coronation for what we now know is King Charles III, that is the name that he has chosen for his reign, won't be held for a very long time. But the minute the Queen passed away, King Charles III is her successor, and that is what we now say. I think Liz Truss, the Prime Minister, even acknowledged God save the King.
And we did see that coming out from the official Royals Twitter account, that message almost immediately from His Majesty the King, as soon as almost immediately that we were made aware of the Queen's passing. So we know what it means now for King Charles III. What does it mean for the rest of the line of succession, at least what we know of them?
Yeah, well, we've already gotten word that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton and Prince William, their titles have been adjusted. They have picked up Cornwall. So that now they're the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge. I think the question on everyone's mind is, will they assume the titles of Prince and Princess of Wales, which Princess Diana was the last to hold Princess of Wales? That is, I think, something that will play out when Charles has his first investiture ceremony.
Okay. And so, you said your viewers of the Royally Obsessed podcast, they've been speaking out, looking for that connection to that community. Is that in line with the broader reaction that you're seeing? What are you seeing on a broad basis, the reaction to the Queen's passing?
I mean, I feel like I've heard from more people in my life today than I've heard from in such a long time. I think we just, like I said, we've been expecting it, but not ready for it. And I think personally for me, throughout the pandemic in particular, we've had 70 years of the Queen in her official role as Queen. But I think she's just been such a strength and stay as she once had Prince Philip. So to have, I think we've leaned on her for this constant for so long. It just feels like such an absolute change.
You are certainly right about that. President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden said today, there are a lot of people in Britain who don't know a life without the Queen being at the top of the monarchy there. So that's going to be a big change for a lot of people. Maybe a bit of a change for your coverage on Royally Obsessed. What is it that you're expecting to be doing? I'm sure you'll be very, very busy in these coming days and weeks.
I think I'm most curious about how things will go as Charles assumes his new role. I mean, he's been waiting for decades for this moment to happen. I think, you really look back at how long he's been in that next in line position. And I think I'm actually a little bit optimistic to see, based on different causes that he's chosen, environmentalism, things like that. So we'll obviously be keeping a close watch on everything he has ahead. And also Queen Consort Camilla, that's a huge change. So a lot to follow along with in the coming months and years.
And is there any conversation or any way that we're looking at Harry and Meghan factoring into the scenario any differently with the passing of the Queen?
I'm not sure. I think that that hybrid role has always been something that has been floated. I think that it would be wonderful to have them back in the fold. I think that there's a lot of potential for so much change now. So I'm curious to see also with that what plays out.
Okay. Well, Rachel, thank you very much for your insight on this very sad day for a lot of people. A lot of people very invested in the royal family, sending well wishes to the Queen's family and everybody over in Britain. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.